morning, everyone. I'm Terry Wood in for Chad Booth today. Land issues. That has been a controversial topic in Utah going all the way back to statehood in 1896. Who controls, or who should control, the land in Utah? Well, the federal government actually controls about 2/3 of the land in Utah, but this includes military reservations, Indian reservations, national parks, national forests, and a lot of BLM land in Utah. Now, in recent years, there have been movements that have sprung up to reclaim this land for state and local control. The Sagebrush Rebellion in the 1980s. In the last couple of years, there has been Take Back Utah, another rally of which is coming up soon. So what is Take Back Utah, and what are the issues involved? Malia Bascom is going to take a look at that in just a moment. Then we'll be back with a roundtable discussion that includes a former national BLM director, the governor's state lands policy director, and a representative of farm and ranch issues in Utah. First, here's Malia's story.
A green mountaintop view that goes on forever. A tan desert expanse almost inaccessible, except for a road carved into a cliff face. A red rock landscape frosted in a snow that comes only twice a century. Taken alone, each is spectacular enough to fill an entire state. Together, however, there is only one place grand enough to house them. That land is Utah. While images like these tend to evoke tranquility and peace, they have also become increasingly disputed in the past 20 years. Words like stewardship, land use, protection, wilderness, and endangered are just a few that come up in these debates. Control is another. 67% of all land in Utah is public land under federal government ownership. For many Utah residents, that 2/3 of the state is by right the property of the Utah public, but is instead being managed from thousands of miles away in Washington, D.C., with closure policies and wilderness agendas that do not coincide with local public opinion. In that regard, these locals feel that Utah has been taken away. Some of them want to take it back.
The environmental community and others have got the attention of the media, and they can get things on the air. And in order to get people to recognize what's happening to our public lands, we have got to get this in front of the public. Because I'm firmly convinced in my mind that there's a lot more of us than there are of them.
In order to get these issues in front of the public, the first Take Back Utah rally was held in August of 2009. Thousands of protesters on ATVs, jeeps, bicycles, horses, and foot marched on the Utah Capitol building in support of multiple use of public lands, responsible stewardship, and local control.
It put a name to a movement, and it let those parties that manage the public lands know there's other groups out there.
It has shown that there is a broad coalition of organizations and individuals that care about multiple use issues. And this has shown, I guess you could say we've flexed our muscle. We've got a large group of people together, and we've shown elected officials, and we've shown the federal government that we are a huge contingency that matters.
A surprising cross-section of people attended both rallies held in 2009 and 2010. While they didn't all share the same opinions, their participation in some cases led to new dialogue between both sides of the land access debate.
This is a bipartisan issue. Even the Democrats recognize that keeping these roads open is a huge, important battle to fight for keeping economic development.
We've seen elected officials come out of the woodwork who always cared about these issues. We've now given those folks courage to do what is right for themselves and for their constituencies.
The Take Back Utah Parade and Rally will be held August 20th, 2011 at the Utah State Fairgrounds. But that's not all. Montana will be having a similar event on August 20th. The Take Back Utah event has raised some questions about state rights. We'll talk more about state rights versus federal rights in our roundtable discussion. For the county seat, I'm Malia Bascom.
Thank you, Malia. That should give you an idea of some of the issues involved. When we come back, we'll have a roundtable discussion with a panel of experts on state versus federal control.
In order for there to be adventure, there must first be a land that offers it. In order for there to be discovery, there must first be something undiscovered. It's time you discovered northeastern Utah's dinosaur lands, the trails, water, beauty, and history that have been 65 million years in the making. Take your journey to a destination where adventure is only limited by your imagination. Join us in Uinta County, Undiscovered Utah.
Come discover Logan, Utah. It's in your own backyard. Book your getaway today.
The State of Utah School and Institutional Trust Lands Administration. SITLA manages 3.5 million acres in Utah lands with the express purpose of furthering the education of Utah students while promoting local industry, oil and gas, even residential development, all at the same time. Through the careful use of trust lands, we distributed more than $22 million to Utah schools last year. The State of Utah School and Institutional Trust Lands Administration, building the state's permanent school fund.
Take a look, take a glimpse, take a peek. You'll be surprised by what you find. Check us out at DeseretPComplex.com. Our phone number is 435-843-4020. Adventure, beauty, excitement. Tooele County Parks and Recreation, bringing communities together.